Hello everybody and welcome to Darkened Skye. My name is Lizstar and I'll be showing you a very exciting game. First off, thank you to NPC for the NPC block. That was a lot of fun. Now, let's move into... Well, if you've never heard of this game, I think you'll be surprised. It's a bit surprising what this game is, because it doesn't look like it. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first cutscene and show you just what we're getting ourselves into.
May the wind carry my words to you, Mother, wherever...
Oh! Whoopsies. I have to restart that. Did you know that, pressing the, volume up button on my, headphones causes it to skip cutscenes? I need to remember that. It's very weird when that happens. Alright. What was that, Skye? Could you repeat that, please?
May the wind carry my words to you, Mother, wherever you may be, in this world or the next. I'm fine today, Mom. Sick of hurting Twentles, but fine. One of Necroth's lackeys tried to make me salute, but I kicked him in the... Well, he'll be gibbering insanely in soprano from now on. I miss you, as always. Where are you? Why didn't you return from that voyage? What's the meaning of this talisman you left me?
Nice bloom, nice like lens flare there.
What's the meaning of me?
Very nice.
Who am I in this world? Tell me, please.
Am I live? Cause it... Oh, there we go. I dropped a bunch of frames. Well, I should be back up.
Smart wearing them bright colored things on your feet. We'll show you smart. Smarts, don't it?
Oh, yes. Bright colors are a symbol of rebellion after all. What will be outlawed next? Smiling?
That's good.
Breathing? Metabolizing?
So I can't tell if this game is trying to be super silly or super serious. It's kind of,
Psst. Come back, you stupid Dwentle. Where are you going? Ugh.
You know, when I'm trying to get someone's attention, I
Come on,
whisper
you
it
have my job
from
for
all the way
this.
over
You're
here.
not supposed to leave this property. Come. What in the rainbow's name?
Could it be?
Lord Necroth, a young female in Linlora just found one. Orange.
Welcome to Darkened Skye, the Skittles video game. That's right, this is a game about Skittles. When I ran this once, like for the first time at a marathon, I had someone who had never seen the game before with me, and she was like, "Oh my god, I thought you were joking about that. I thought you were making a joke." All right, I'm gonna count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to Darkened Skye. This is the Skittles video game. It's made in 2002, 2003. Yeah, that voice on that lizard definitely did not sound right, did it? Necroth, young female.
Rumblestone.
It doesn't really work. Also, saying female like that makes me kind of uncomfortable. So welcome to Darkened Skye. Do you like Zelda? Because this game sure does. This is a very Zelda-y action-adventure game that we can rip apart in many different ways. So I hope you all like glitches, because we're about to do the first one right here. And I will explain it in a second.
Yeah,
Second one here,
I'll wander into that pitch
we're
black
not supposed to be able to go in here.
I want to show up in the credits as third
But
teenager.
you can just slip through the collision. Now we have a password to get into a room. Whoopsies. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I have to do that
think
again.
I'll wander into that
See, this
pitch
is why
black
you
cave
always
alone.
need to save.
I want to show up in the credits as third dead
like,
teenager.
a lot. If you like I hope you like the words game saved, because they will be there for the entire run. There we go. Okay, so I'm just collecting some potions so that things go a little smoother later. Basically, this game is
Pursuant to chapter
fully
16,
built around
section A.
a glitch called save jumping. And what save jumping is when you jump in the air and then use a quick save, and then you land on the ground. Basically, it resets a flag. When you're on the ground, it has a flag that says on the ground, and when you're set to on the ground, you're able to jump. It doesn't reset the flags properly when you load, so even if you're in midair, if you're on the ground like this, you're able to jump through the air, which allows us to fly over literally everything in the game. It's very Sonic Boomy. Also, I'm doing reset level jumps, which is a different kind of form of it, where we reset the level in order to get on the ground so you can go over large quantities of land. This will be our main way of transport through this game so that we get to exactly where we need to go. This was discovered pretty recently, actually. Shortly before my GDQ run, I ran this at AGDQ 2020, earlier this year. I was doing a run where we didn't really know you could do reset level jumps, and then I accidentally fell in a pit, and I had lost a run, and then Alphagloose, who also runs this game, was like, couldn't you have just like reset the level and then jump because you would be on the ground? And then I was like, oh yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? And I was like, wait, hold on. That just completely rips apart the run. So now we can go to like literally everything. Most of these glitches, other than the reset level jumps, were discovered by Nick's Report, for the record. Thank you to Nick's Report. Hey, that's good fish RNG. I like me some fish RNG. So, because of the save jumping, we have routed out a lot of things. We had bomb jumps, we had like a lot of glitches, but now we just kind of jump over everything in order to get to stuff. But there are some pretty wild glitches that we'll be getting to later. This game is a complete mess. Not just in terms of glitches, but especially in terms of glitches.
It's my favorite Tikniki toy.
Ninu. I love Ninu. It's a huge mess in terms of glitches, but for the most part, it's just a mess entirely. This game has a wild story behind it that I will definitely be wanting to get into. A lot of people are like, wait, hold on, is this really a Skittles-based video game? And why, yes it is. We play as the young girl, Skye, who was chosen to be like the person who reunites the rainbow after the Dark Lord Necroth ripped it apart to harness its magic. Now you might be like, that's pretty high concept for a Skittles video game. Oh, whoops. When you do that, you just have to load back in like that. It's pretty easy to accidentally hit New Game because it resets your mouse's position to New Game every time, and it sucks. I wish it didn't do that. Anyway, but yeah, this is a Skittles video game. You can tell because there's a Skittle floating precariously. Oh, no, I want to go here. If it seems like I'm not really explaining what the hell I'm doing, well, I'm not. But for the most part, we usually want to get out of bounds and fly to where we're going. We used to do a little bit more, but now it's mostly just that. Like, there used to be a big climb through that central castle there, but we can just kind of fly to the end. But this gives me just enough time to talk about the story. I mean, I basically told the story. Skye needs to reunite the rainbow. She's collecting prisms in order to get the rainbow back. It's your typical fantasy 2002 story. Get all of the MacGuffins to save the world and stop the evil bad guy. The most interesting thing about this game isn't the actual game itself. Well, I mean, I actually do really like the game itself, but it's the story behind it. So this game was made by, whoopsies, I accidentally bumped the mouse. This game was made by Simon & Schuster, who, if you don't know, is a book publishing company. But they dipped into making video games back in the late 90s, early 2000s, for some reason, and they were running out of money because it wasn't super lucrative, they needed to take a deal with the devil, as it were. So they made a deal with Mars to make a Skittles-based video game because Mars had noticed that, you know, they made an M&M's video game and it did wonders for the brand. So they wanted to do the same thing for Skittles. They were like, Skittles needs that push. So they were like, hey, we need you to make a Skittles-based video game, we'll give you a bunch of money. They're like, oh, okay. So the main boss goes to his best developer and says to her, hey, I can't remember her name right now. If anyone knows in the chat, you can go ahead and say it. But they're like, hey, I need you to make a Skittles video game for me. And then she literally said, and I quote, either fire me right now or tell me you're joking, because I'm not going to do that. And then, because, you know, it's kind of really dumb. It's a really dumb idea. But then she went home, alright? She got extremely plastered, just super drunk. And then she went back, called him, and was like, okay, tell you what, I will do it, but I will make it my own. So she planned to make a I call it weird fantasy, a weird fantasy Skittles game with like this large overarching lore and like a lot of humor and jokes to it. Unfortunately, we are skipping all of the jokes because this is not, as I call it, a good cutscene percent. The best part of this game is the cutscenes and the writing, in my opinion. But that's slow, so, you know. By the way, something I have not mentioned in terms of actual gameplay, there are invisible ceilings all over the place, so if I bump into an invisible ceiling, I'm going to fall and I cannot correct myself. So I have to try to avoid them, so I stayed really high that entire time to do that. Let's see here, we want to go here to the next level. So all of the levels in this game, for the record, are based around Skittles commercials. This one was based on the one with the birds. I'm not quite sure what Ogmire is based on. This might surprise you. I'm not a Skittles lore master. I like Skittles, but like not that much. So in this one, it's actually extraordinarily easy. I don't even need to use save jumping in order to get out of bounds in this level. But then we just kind of walk around the rim. This level is an absolute nightmare. You'll be hearing me say that a lot, by the way. Every level in this game absolutely sucks. But this one's pretty bad. The general idea is that we need to collect a bunch of birds in order to restore the rainbow. The birds have the power of the prism in them. I don't know. It's trite 2000s writing. Not quite. Almost. There we go. But I don't want to do that. That is slow, so we're just going to walk around the edges and not collect any birds. However, there is a dude at the end of here who tells you, wait, you haven't collected all the birds yet, go back and get them. We'll be getting around him. That guy's name is Damien. Damien just shows up randomly, like he shows up and like constantly disappears. He like gives us cryptic hints and is like, I'm a friend, I'm here to help you, and then doesn't really help you at all. And then we also have another friend, Drac, who is a wise-talking gargoyle who ran away from Necroth and is willing to help us. Anyway, so Scott. Damien here is like, hey, wait, no, don't do that. But we're just going to jump around him. There we go. All right, now here's a glitch known as dirtying my save. We're going to start a new game, then we're going to load back into this one, restart the level. You see now we have 2 birds out of 5, so the game gets confused. The game gets a little confused when you do saving and loading like that. It's like, okay, I actually don't know what items you have. So I'm going to just assume that you have a certain number of items. Oh, I'm going to show something real quick. This is how we used to do this. This is slow, but I like showing it off. So as soon as you stop there, that's considered ground. So you just, jump is what I called it. It's a real shame. Some of the reset jumps just ruined a lot of really fun tricks. And I was like, hey, can we make a category with like no reset jumps? And they're like, no, we're not going to do that, Liz. And I was like, okay, fine. But now I can't show off odd jumps in speedrun marathons anymore. So we're going to get back out of bounds, and then here's a gate. This level, the way it works is there are 3 dragons that you need to kill. Well, not kill, you need to defeat them in combat. But we're just going to jump directly to the first one. I am not doing save jumping here because this is riddled with invisible ceilings and it will kill me. Alright, here's the boss. So the reason that we did the save dirtying is so that we could get Skittles. The Skittles, the way the Skittles work in this game, because we haven't really used them yet, is, hey, anyone here really like Final Fantasy VII? Y'all know how materia works, right? Like, it's a little magic orbs that you fit into spell slots, and if you have the certain, right ones, you get spells. Yeah, well, Skittles are exactly the same way. Skittles equal materia in this game, which is really great to me, and honestly, if I were to make a Skittles video game, like, I think that's probably the best way to do it, is just make the Skittles the materia that fits in with the with each spell. The purple one is of course the best, as it is in real life. Alright, and with that we have beaten the boss. Wow, that sure was a hard boss, wasn't it? Alright, so now we're in the Warlord's dojo or something, I don't know. We need to collect 2 more birds in order to get to the end, otherwise Damien won't let us leave. But again, that's slow. We also need to collect like keys to open up doors. Again, that's a little slow. So guess what we do? This will surprise you.
Take a while.
Oh, almost. Almost. We just rub against the wall until we slip through.
Yep. Locked.
Take a wild guess. Locked. We just go ahead and slip right through the wall. I'm not quite sure why that works. I'm not really sure why any of this works. Many thanks to Nick's report, because without him, this run would have been absolute agony. It would have been terrible. Here, I have a story about that. I was the first person to speedrun this game back in like 2016. When I first started picking up speedruns, I picked up Lizstar, McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure, and this. And I hadn't played this before, but I knew I wanted to speedrun it. So I decided to, I ran it and routed it at the same time. Oh, hold on, here's a trick. So we want to rub up against this tuning fork. Uh-oh. What's going on with the there we go. Okay. And then you just jump out. There you go. Alright, so here's the squelch. This is an auto-scroller, so I have plenty of time to tell my story. Basically, we just have to collect these crystals. Simple as that. Okay, so I ran this game in 2016. I routed it myself, but there weren't any glitches, and by the end of all the routing, I had a nice, concise game that was super fun to speedrun, and was not at all boring to watch. I'm just kidding. It was 5 hours long, and it was unparalleled agony. I absolutely hated speedrunning it. And in fact, I never actually finished a run. Because it was so hard. The entire run was basically about avoiding enemies. Like, you just didn't kill any enemies, you just ran past them as they all chased you throughout all the levels. And the sound design in this game is really, really bad. So the entire time you're hearing basically this sound effect of the squelch. You hear the sound effect running? Now imagine there's 12 of them. And they go over cutscenes, they go over everything, and just non-stop. Meanwhile, they're all yelling like at you, and it's terrible. Also, they're all attacking you, so if you take too much damage, you die. It's really bad. Also, I was playing the GameCube version. This game did come out on the GameCube. I'm playing the PC version. Because the GameCube version is actually worse! It's so bad that the GameCube version of Darkened Skye is, as far as I know, the only GameCube game to consistently crash the GameCube on hardware. It constantly crashes and ruins runs. Also, it has no quick save and quick load, so it takes like 6 seconds to save and load. So you just have to sit there the entire time while you're saving and loading, and then you die because you miss a jump or something hits you, and then you have to reload. 5 hours of this! It was terrible. So now that Nick's report has gotten to it, Nick's and Author Blues, thank God for them, because they have made this game actually bearable. Okay, we are in the worst level now. We have to do a save dirty again. Alright, hey, y'all remember when I made a joke earlier that this game's kind of like Zelda? What's your favorite glitch in Ocarina of Time? Mine is the ISG. This is the ISG, Infinite Staff glitch. It is exactly like the Infinite Sword glitch in Ocarina of Time, where the tip of our staff is constantly swinging. And this makes it so that things, when they touch the end of our staff, get hurt. This will protect us because there's a lot of, I call them tiger birds, that are constantly swooping down at us. And without this, they would basically destroy us. Or I'd have to take a long time to try and fight them. I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take all of this off. I want cooler clips. Thank you. Oh, that son of a jerk. There we go. Whether or not the staff actually hits them is kind of up in the air. As you can see, there we go. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, there are basically cliff racers, right down to the extremely annoying sound effects. Wow! I call that, like I said, I call them tiger birds.
Quinella said an ancient
So we get eaten by this friend.
holds the key.
We get a key to one of these things. These are the clocks that we have to set throughout this level. Most of them are pretty easy. They're like, you know, 1, 2, 3. There you go. As you can see, I am avoiding these rat birds, as I call them. Imagine doing that with no glitches or anything. It was bad. Also, if you fall on a rat bird, you are not on the ground. So I find reset level jumps a little easier here to actually do. Okay, we want to go over here and grab this health. Trust me, we want it. Now I want to kind of be in a very specific spot here, otherwise a boss will spawn.
Found, return to Spike and
So we don't want to spawn that boss because he will chase us to the ends of the earth. So there was a BDSM joke. I'm not joking. This was a game for kids. And now we have some manacles, which we'll be using later. We want to jump on this rat bird because that negates fall damage. And now we have the second of 3 clocks here. Here we go. That one's pretty simple as well. We talk to this friend. He gives us an item. Oh, we get a spoon. Oh, that's nice. This level, one of the reasons it sucks is that there's basically, like, no real glitches that we can do. It's basically, we just have to do it legitimately. It is the level we do the most normally, which is a darn shame because I like skipping levels. Okay, so from here, I'm going to actually try and kill the tiger birds so that they stop bothering me. Especially... Hi, buddy. Okay, especially these here. I should hopefully be good. We want to kill the golden ones especially. The golden ones push you and shove you around, and this one is timed, so we have to do it perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to do a safety save here, because if not, it can really screw up this, this thing. Okay, I have to focus here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one is really, really annoying. 1, 2, 3. And if you mess it up slightly, it completely breaks. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Yeah! You know what? I'm a dad. Y'all can't see it, but I just dabbed. I'm so happy every time that actually works out. Okay, so now we're in the best level in the game. This is the Goblin's Lair. Welcome to my house. So we have a bunch of goblins. Don't worry about them. He's just sleeping. We're going to do one of the best glitches in this game. This is my favorite level, just because of how, like, the game really evolves from this point in terms of glitches. There's a lot more going on. This is Diminish, which makes us small, and they didn't quite think about what would happen if you were small and kind of got yourself stuck in a crevice. So you just push yourself through the ceiling and get out of bounds. We will be using this a lot. From this point on, the entire game is open to us. We can get out of bounds basically anywhere, and it is beautiful. We're going to climb up through the Goblin's Lair. This place, if you weren't playing with glitches, is kind of a nightmare because there's so many goblins, which you'd think would be a good thing, but the fighting in this game is not super great. The game in this game isn't super great. Hey, everyone, I want you to look at the name of the marathon. Yeah, no, that's about right. I love this game a lot, but, like, it's Rolf and I have differing opinions. He thinks this game is actually legitimately good, and I've played it casually, so I don't. Alright, here is the second section of the Goblin Home, my house. Everything in this game that isn't the actual game is incredible. I love the idea of it, like, genuinely I do. Like, weird fantasy's great. So we're going to... I think I definitely did not do that right. Let's try that again. I timed it just a little too late. Here, I'm going to focus and stop talking. How's that sound? Okay, so I want to time this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, there you go. And if you just kind of shove yourself against the ceiling while you're getting bigger through diminish, you clip on through the ceiling. It's very nice. Something to note, if you see me pressing escape during, like, right after I do a reset jump, also I'm going to save here because there's a lot of invisible ceilings, and it's a little dangerous. If you see me pressing escape, that's because most levels have cutscenes that you skip by pressing escape as soon as you hit reset level. However, you'll also have noticed that I've been doing this a lot, even with levels that have these kinds of things. Sometimes the game just doesn't load cutscenes. I'm really not sure why this happens. So, you basically have to accurately guess. Okay, so we clip on through outside and go through the door backwards. And now we're in the Bone Zone. Please be mature. We have a time machine here, and basically the idea— oh my god, that tiger bird had it out for me. Basically the idea is we have to bring, I think her name is Prunella, back from the dead. And in order to do that, we need to collect her, goods. We brought her horse back from the dead, now we need to bring her back. If you are wondering what Skittle commercial this is, it is the one with the girl on the white horse. Because again, everything is based on commercials. I love it. I love it so much. The actual thing you're supposed to do in this level is kill all of the scorpions and collect their venom, because there's a barrier on one of her items that cannot be broken through normal means, and you have to break it down using venom. Usually you have to do these like block puzzles here, but the last one requires venom. I'm not going to do that. Let me tell you, there are several things I'd rather do than wander around the entire Bone Zone and collect scorpion venom. So I'm going to not do that. Oh, I need— oh, no. Okay, we're good. Sorry for the goblin noises. I had to squeak there for a second. Okay, so instead of using scorpion venom, we're going to— say it with me, folks— clip out of bounds. So we use the diminish spell. We have to get as close as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, now we have the item. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost. There we go. And we're out. So now we have all 3 items. We're going to make our way to Prunella's corpse. I'm really not sure. Yeah, Prunella's belongings are a dress, some shoes, and a shock absorber. It's a time machine. She actually lets us have this time machine, fun fact, and we will be using it later in this game in an extremely funny way. In fact, it'll be so funny, I'm going to intentionally show it. Even though it'll waste us some time. Because it is a really good cutscene. Alright, so here we go. Let's go ahead and put these items for Prunella. And there we go. She's back from the dead. She gives us a prism. Now we're here. Everyone is starting to disappear, and we're getting kind of lonely. This is the part in the story where it's all angsty. So here's a friend. We could have talked to him a lot, but now we can talk to him.
Wood Wizard, but don't believe me. Watch. Makes a wooden duplicate of anything you choose. Never again will you say, I don't have a wooden duplicate of something I choose. Never again with Wood Wizard. Check with me whenever you're passing through. Unsightly age lines getting you down. Want to turn back the march of time? Well, now you can with Mask. Mask fits over your real face, forming a subtle new layer of skin as smooth as a baby's behind. Don't just wish wrinkles away, hide them with Mask from Blemco.
So yeah, it's Alien Billy Mays. I love him.
It's a time machine. Cool, huh?
Never again will you turn your eggs into sporting goods by careless overcooking. Now you can time them with Time Machine.
Right. What do you give me for it?
Wood Wizard, but don't believe me. Watch. Makes a wooden duplicate of anything you choose. Never again will you say, I don't have a wooden duplicate of something I choose. Never again with Wood Wizard.
Thanks, I think.
So we just give up a time machine for this thing, and then here's this guy.
Handmade wooden toys. Do you know how long it takes these meat racks to carve the little tiny rudder on a little tiny boat, or the little tiny button on a little tiny dolly, or the little tiny... sorry. Toy for the kiddos?
I think this guy would like a wood wizard. So we give him a wood wizard, and he gives us a toy boat. We're going to use this toy boat to get through here. That's all the cutscenes I'll show, but I think that gives a good idea of what this game is like. The voice acting work is actually really good. Skye is voiced by the same person who voiced Jasmine from Aladdin. Like, the writing, I genuinely feel, is actually really good and funny. I feel like it is, like, actually pretty good. Some people think it's, you know, it's le cringe. Oh, it's so cringy. Oh, shut up. It's really funny. I like it. It does have strong Spyro energy. I agree. It's kind of from that same era, you know? But like I said, the actual game, you know, you can take it or leave it. So we're going to jump over here and use this boat. It immediately makes us tiny, and here we are in Twill Country. So Twill Country is a level. I hope you like the sound effects. Hey, you remember what I told you earlier about the general idea of like, hey, the old version of this game, the old run of this game. Oh, actually, I want to use Polar Pulse. The old run of this game, you mostly ignored enemies. And this, you know, just like dealt with the sound effects. Yeah, that's this. Is exactly what the run used to be like. Because this level has absolutely no glitches in it whatsoever. We need to kill these things. Some kind of insects that have stolen potions that will help us restore the rainbow. And it's really, really loud and really bad. Everyone's like, Liz, could you speak up? I can't hear you over the garbage. Oh, that's not the one I need to kill. You can tell if they're the one you need to kill because they die in 2 hits. Give me that, please. Thank you. Alright. Like, so, people mostly are like, you know, what's the worst video game in terms of sound design? Most people will point to, who kept dropping my jump inputs there. Most people will point to Sonic Adventure 2, and that's pretty not great. I think it's probably this one. because they do play during cutscenes. Okay, so here we are in, Gargoyle Country. So, at this point, everyone has disappeared. No one is giving us any answers to our questions. Skye is very, emo-y in this period because Drac has disappeared. Her best friend Drac has disappeared, and so has Damien, even though Damien, you know, he doesn't actually have any characterization or anything. Who cares about him? We are trying to get the last piece of the rainbow. Get a key. Got to avoid these things here. Those are actually the Mega Skittles. Honestly, I am absolutely shocked that that the Skittles brand team allowed them to create the anti-Skittle. Like, it just blows my mind that they actually allowed that. So we're going to diminish here, because, again, we are in a kind of like a caverny, roomy area, and we can always get out of bounds, which we will want to do. So, let's climb up here. Alright. And now we are at the, final area. So here's a vampire, I guess. There's a barrier here that stops us from actually progressing, but we do not care about that. So we're just going to sit here and mash our key. Please. There we go. And that allows us to. Yeah, I know. That allows us to get through the area. So now we need to get back out of bounds. Again, we can do that anywhere, but the easiest way is... no. Let's restart a little. The easiest way is like this. So the collision on this thing is kind of non-existent and allows you to just kind of do this. Okay. So now we're out of bounds. We are just between the seams. Let's climb up. It's very easy to get back in bounds here, so we have to be really careful not to. We want to kind of climb around all of this. There's a boss in this room. This might surprise you. We're not going to fight it. Okay, we're going to do the last save dirtying. Restart the game, load back in, restart the level. Okay. So the point of this now is that we need to collect all of the anti-Skittles in order to break down barriers. Again, might surprise you. We're not going to do that. People are talking in chat. So they're like, they allowed the manacle joke and they allowed the anti-Skittles joke. What wouldn't they allow? When the creator of this game sent her script over to Mars, she was fully expecting, like, she kind of pushed the boundaries, and she was expecting them to just, like, say no to most things. When it came back, the only things that were changed, they said, okay, we want you to remove one use of the word damn. And she's like, okay, that makes sense, I'll do that. And then they're like, okay, and then we also want you to remove every snake from the video game. She was like, what? And they're like, yeah, every snake. Okay, well, you can have snake-like enemies, but no actual snakes. So she was like, okay. So, that was the only thing. Everything else, perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. Snakes? Nope. Not okay. So again, we're just going to diminish under the barrier. There's a boss here, but the way to end this level is just use Awakened Stone on this gargoyle. This is the gargoyle. Okay, we're at the final level. We have a bunch of cool spells now, like this. This is Wind Glide, which makes our life a little easier. Technically, we don't need it, but it, like I said, makes it easier, a little bit faster. We want to climb up until we, fall like that twice, and then float. And we want to float all the way around the level. Alright. And now we are at... This would be a boss. Here's Damien. What's up, Damien? But I don't want to deal with him, so we're just going to jump over him. Let's go like this. Like, my assumption for why, snakes weren't allowed is something involving, like, religious reasons. That's really the only reason I can think. Why you would shut down snakes, but, I don't know. So we're going to get some purple Skittles here. Let's also get this for safety. Because purple Skittles are the most important and best Skittles. They allow us to do great spells, like Create Wizard, where you can create Royal Blue Wizard, and, he will show up. Alright, so now we have, the, Taste the Rainbow skill. Which allows us to blast with rainbow energy. And, this releases the seal on the Evil Lord Nekroth's final, citadel. So we must go in and confront him. Here, I'll show the final, not the final, well, I'll show the final cutscene, but I'll show this cutscene too.
For I wear the purple prism about my own neck. When I dispose of you, I shall have the other.
Before we battle, I just need to know. Why? What drove you to rob our worlds of their magic? What sick need is satisfied by destroying the joy of others? What horrible wound to your psyche could possibly have... flip it, I'm no therapist.
Can you see that this game has a bit of a tone problem? It really doesn't know what it's going for, like, half the time. And I love that! It's like watching a bad movie. It's like watching The Room. It's so good. I'll flip it. So we're going to climb up here. We want to get this mana potion, which will help us take care of Nekroth a little bit later. Nekroth screams. That's his special attack. Okay, yeah, I get. Oh my god, what happened to the camera? Oh my gosh! Oh, whoa, where am I? Okay, no, no, no! Oh god, I had no idea where I was. Okay. I'm gonna climb over to Nekroth. I'm doing this a little bit differently than I usually do, actually. Okay. Nekroth! Nekroth, please! Nekroth, no! Okay. Alright, we want to stay here. Okay, now we want to use... lightning. Okay, I'm good. We'll save. Okay, let's use Create Lightning. Excuse my noises. Okay. And we just kind of blast him. Here. Pretty simple. You have to use a potion. Okay, now while he's weakened, taste the rainbow! There he goes. And now the game kind of just waits like a while for it to end, like an uncomfortably long period of time. And that is time. And now we have to watch the ending cutscene. It's super important. You have to see where the story goes.
It's over.
Not quite. There's still the trifling matter of restoring the rainbow. Heart of the rainbow,
scary.
dear. Heart of the rainbow.
It won't work that way.
Oh, by the way, that's Skye's mom.
spell
We completely
directly
skip
on
her.
me.
But it's too powerful.
Major props on
You'll
letting
be
the main character's
killed.
mom be a woman of color, I
No,
think.
Skye.
But Skye is
Quite the opposite.
extremely
I'll
pale.
live forever. You'll understand in time. I told you I would never leave this world without saying goodbye. Goodbye, Skye. I've always been with you, and I always will. Wherever you see the rainbow. Now, fulfill my destiny, Skye. Now!
So we kill our mom, and in every Skittles commercial, the rainbow is Skye's mom. Fun fact. It's raining Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
That's one way to taste the rainbow. All right, that's enough. You can stop tasting now. You can stop. May as well be talking to the back end of a Dwentle.
So then you make out in your mom's Skittle blood, and that's the game. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, next time you eat a Skittle, you're eating Skye's mom. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of Big Bad Game-a-thon, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, friends.